She was just an alien prisoner, but the human saw more and he acted. The prison ship Oblivion's Edge orbited the desolate moon of Corvus V like a forgotten tombstone in space. Aboard it, silence reigned. Not the peaceful kind, but the heavy quiet of resignation and despair. This wasn't a place for second chances. It was a dumping ground for society's unwanted. Criminals, traitors, war captives, and political inconveniences. Commander Riley Thorne had been assigned to Oblivion's Edge for 6 months. It was supposed to be temporary, a desk-warming post while his reassignment papers were processed. He'd served honorably in the Outer Frontier Wars, earned his stripes, lost a few friends, and now just wanted the galaxy to let him rest. But rest didn't come easy out here. His job was simple. Review prisoner profiles, authorize resource deliveries, and occasionally sign off on interrogation logs. He rarely went below Deck 9, where the alien prisoners were kept in cryostasis or monitored under Level 5 security. Most of them were considered threats to the Galactic Union, beings whose intelligence, abilities, or political sway made them too dangerous to set free. But one day something changed. A red file appeared in his task list. Prisoner #8762. KZ, species. Zalari. Status. Awaiting transfer to lunar dissection facility. That was unusual. The Zalari were rare, almost mythical. There had been whispers during the war. Stories about shape-shifting diplomats, mind readers, and beings who could manipulate energy fields at a molecular level. Most of it sounded like ghost tales told over drinks in barracks. But here was one. In custody. Riley tapped into the file. Name, unavailable. Gender, female assumed. Capture location, ruins of Calyx Prime. Charges. Espionage, biological tampering, refusal to cooperate. Transfer request. High clearance dissection order. Signed by Sector Marshal Goran Dax. He frowned. The last part, dissection, made his stomach turn. They called it analysis in the official reports, but everyone knew what it meant. Vivisection. Experimentation. A slow, clinical death for the sake of science and security. And yet, something about the prisoner's image on the screen stopped him. She didn't look threatening, at least not in the usual sense. Her form shimmered faintly, even through the energy shackles. Pale blue skin, violet eyes that seemed impossibly old, and an expression not of defiance, but deep, aching sorrow. He found himself replaying her intake footage. She hadn't resisted. She hadn't spoken a word, not even when questioned for hours. There was only silence and stillness, as if she had already accepted whatever was coming. That night Riley couldn't sleep. The next morning he descended to Deck 9. "Commander Thorne," the warden greeted him stiffly. "Didn't expect to see you down here. I want to see prisoner 8762, KZ. The warden hesitated. "You'd need to submit a—" "I've submitted it," Riley cut in, holding up the clearance tablet. Reluctantly, the guards led him to a cell lined with magnetic seals and psychic dampeners. Inside, the Zalari sat motionless, legs crossed as if meditating or mourning. The moment Riley entered, she looked up, and something shifted in the room. "You understand me?" he asked. She said nothing. He stepped closer. "I read your file. They're transferring you tomorrow. To the labs on Vega 4. Still silence. "I just want to know why," he said. "Why the silence? Why not defend yourself?" The alien tilted her head, studying him. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft, like wind brushing through glass. "What purpose would truth serve, when your kind has already written its version?" Riley blinked. You can speak. I choose when to speak. It costs less. He sat across from her, ignoring the guards outside shifting nervously. You were captured during the Calyx Prime raid, he said. They claim you tampered with our soldiers' biology. That you tried to rewrite human DNA. Do you fear change so much? She asked. That's not the point. Isn't it? Her eyes glowed faintly. Your leaders crave control, not peace. I tried to help your wounded. Your scientists called it mutation. Your generals called it sabotage. And you call it espionage. Riley tried to process that. You healed them. I tried. Her voice faltered, almost breaking. But they chose fear over understanding. He leaned back, thoughts racing. Could it be true? The Calyx Prime raid had resulted in several soldiers returning with strange regenerative properties. It was covered up quickly, classified as a viral mutation. But if she was telling the truth, you're not a spy, he murmured. You're a healer. I was, she said. Until your kind made it a crime. They sat in silence. For the first time in months, Riley felt something beyond protocol, beyond duty. He felt doubt, and something deeper, empathy. You don't have to die like this, he said suddenly. There has to be another way. She looked at him, eyes wide. You would risk yourself for me? I don't know, he admitted. But maybe I'd risk myself for the truth. The next 12 hours were a blur. Riley accessed Level 7 clearance codes, falsified a maintenance reroute, and scheduled a supply shuttle under the guise of routine orbital waste disposal. He moved with precision, calm, focused. But inside, adrenaline surged like wildfire. When the moment came, they had 6 minutes to get from Deck 9 to the hangar bay. She moved silently beside him, hooded in a thermal cloak. No alarms. Not yet. But as they neared the bay, a guard spotted them. Commander Thorne, wait. Riley stunned him with a pulse gun, heart hammering. 1 minute left. They reached the shuttle. Doors sealed. Engines humming. As the ship launched from Oblivion's edge, klaxons blared behind them. They were fugitives now. 2 weeks later, on the rim-world colony of Narrows 3, Riley sat under the twin suns watching the alien, whose name he'd learned was Kazari, help a sick child breathe again. With just a touch and a hum, the boy's lungs, ravaged by dust lung, cleared. He sat up coughing, confused, then hugged his mother with wide eyes. The colonists whispered about the blue healer, unsure if she was angel or curse. Riley watched her work with reverence. But news traveled fast. The Galactic Union placed a bounty on Riley's head. Armed deserter. Accomplice to alien insurgency. Kazari's name wasn't even mentioned. Only Biothreat 8762 KZ. Still, they moved from moon to moon, system to system. She saved lives in secret. He protected her. Not because she needed him. Kazari was far from helpless, but because he couldn't bear to see her hunted. In the quiet between worlds, they talked. Do you hate us? He asked one night. No, she said. But I mourn you. What you could have been. He nodded, understanding more each day. Months passed. Then, one evening on a remote outpost near the edge of explored space, Riley received a message. Private channel. Encrypted. You're not wrong, Commander. The Union is. It was from Admiral Solon Rake, one of Riley's old mentors. We've seen her work. The healing. The miracles. I'm pulling strings. There are others who believe as I do. Bring her to Haven Station. There's hope. But move fast. Riley showed Kazari the message. She touched his hand, hesitant. It could be a trap. It could, he said. But what if it isn't? They arrived at Haven Station 2 days later.